Hello all, a nice tale here, bringing you a knife unboxing. Today, another one. And just so you know, I'm not getting these knives sent for free, I am paying for them. I've reached out to companies, but I haven't gotten any takers yet, but hopefully I can grow. If you would like and subscribe, I may even start like a channel membership thing for anybody crazy enough who actually wants to offer some support. That would be, like, mind-blowing to me, but if that would happen, like, subscribe, check out my other videos, anything. I'm just trying to start up here and see where things go. But to get back to the unboxing, because I haven't even started yet. Yeah, you see, this knife has a lot of rough edges, literally rough edges, but it cuts well. It does cut well. It's not the bitiest cut, but it's super thin, so. And of course, I'm not at all, in any way, shape, or form, done with cutting on this box. And I'm trying to hide my information on the other side, which is why I'm doing this in the slowest, dumbest way possible. Yay me. So what are we looking at here today? Well, you might be able to tell now. And if you weren't sure before, you should be now. And I don't have to, I can't say that again because this is pretty self-explanatory. It's a WE! Specifically, the Attor. Designed by Dalibor Bergam. I did, one point, have one of his custom knives. Not a super fancy, super expensive new one. A much older one that I got on the secondary market. It stuck around for just a little while. It was alright. It was a little rough around the edges. But it definitely felt like an earlier knife. It didn't feel like the beautiful polished things that he's putting out now. This is not the knife. just so you know. That is not the Attor. This is the Attor. Is it open on one? It is not open on one end. Okay. It is open on one end. Alright, and what we got here is the polished gray. I have had one of these polished gray knives before. And the polish, while it looks decent, is a little speckly. You can see a little bit there. The knife I had before was a lot more speckly. It was like splotchy, really bad. So I sent that knife back. This knife is a lot more uniform, a lot more attractive and consistent. The speckles are throughout, so it looks more purposeful. I can tell you right off the right out of the gate that I don't love the fact that that pocket clip flattens out like that. If they just kind of cut that off and left it as a continuous rise, that might be better. Out of the box, it's centered. Ooh, okay. That was better action than I was expecting. See, the blade's got a little bit of that speckling too. I think that's kind of common with their gray polish. It's attractive. There's no doubt about that, but kind of wish it was more fine. It almost looks like it's on this knife, because it is more uniform, it almost looks more like a full body stonewash instead of this blotchiness that was on the first knife I had. Not this particular model, but it almost looks like it's a gray polish with a stonewash on it. Okay. Needs to break in a little bit. I mean, holy crap, this thing is comfortable in the hand. Yeah, that is super comfortable. Okay. They can be used as thumb studs, but they don't really They take a little more effort than I thought. It's got a pretty good detent on it. Yeah, that's not bad. Reverse fleck is great. Blade feels reasonably thin. Plunge grind's way back here, so yeah. Yeah, it looks like the plunge grind ends right about there. So that's not even close to the edge. You're good. You got all this to play with here. Okay, for a very plain looking knife, I'm liking this even more than I thought, and I liked Dalibor Burgum's work. It does feel like it needs to break in a little bit, but it's very, very consistent. Let's see where is my nano oil? There it is. Just a single hair, not even a, that's way too much. Just a hair touch of nano oil to, that was too much. Why is it coming out so fast? Oh well. I'll rub it in on the detent ball. Can help to lubricate the inside of this knife pretty well. Normally I would use like a little swab. I would put a little dollop of oil on the swab and touch that to the detent ball, but I don't know where my swabs are right now, so it's ultra smooth. But it does feel like there's maybe a little bit of grime on the pivot. Just a tiny bit. Okay. This is in CPM 20 CV. Yeah, I have to admit, I like the design, but I wasn't 100% sure I would love the knife. I'm liking this a lot. Don't like the play. Please, for the love of all that is holy, center up. That is not a T8. This is a T8. Please be centered. Please be centered. I like this. Well, still a tiny bit there. Still just a tiny hair. I'm picky about my play, and I don't like seeing it. Okay, all gone. It's definitely tighter now. It is still centered. Interesting. Yeah, now it's more like, it's definitely tighter. I don't really want to take this thing fully apart and get the gunk out of that, because this is an integral. I probably should have mentioned that a while ago, but this is an integral knife. This thing doesn't come apart very easily. You sort of got to do everything in through this little hole, access point. It's still straight. If I really torque on it, there's still a tiny, tiny hint of play. And that is gone now. And we are still, by my eye, centered. Yeah, it's a little tighter. It's more of a deliberate kind of thing. But as everything evens out in the pivot a little bit. In fact, I'm just going to be a glutton for punishment and go straight in with the nano oil in there. See if I can't get that to work itself in a little bit. I don't normally do that. I normally take it apart and properly clean and lube it, but Then again, I haven't done too many unboxings, have I? Let's see, out from underneath the camera, let's see how it drops. Okay. It's very smooth. It's definitely improving. And because I'm a potato, I got oil on the lock bar, or lock face. Probably why I don't normally do it that way. I like this. The sheen, the angles, the fact that the finish is much better on this one. That detent is good. And yeah, it's I kind of thought this knife was going to be a little bit tighter. Like, the knives I've had from Dalibor Bergram are like that. They're more of a deliberate sort of, they have this sort of super smooth tightness to them that I've seen from him, at least, and the one I've handled. They're not drop shut kind of things, most of the time at least. Maybe some of his new stuff is, but not some of the stuff I've seen. But the execution is pretty darn good here. Yeah, I'm liking it. Okay. Well, I'm not going to use this too hard because I do like this knife, and it's quite an expensive knife. But I'm going to carry it, and I will use it. Maybe not quite as hard as some of the other knives in my collection, but it's nice. Also, very nice work on that lightning arrow. I was worried that was going to look bad. I would like to see a little of the orange on both sides, but you can see it a little bit right there. It looks good. Yeah, I like it. So far, so good. The Dalibor Bergram Attor by WE Knives. Unboxed, and first impressions are positive. I'll let you guys know when... Well, you'll see another video coming out about maybe a review or something of this thing. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you later.